All right, we are here with Stanford offensive coordinator and offensive line coach Mike Bloomgren, and the first thing I got to ask is, on a day when the quarterbacks were not sacked and they were not hurried, how hard was it to find things wrong with the offensive line's performance?
Oh, there's always things we wish we'd done better, and that's the reality of the situation. We're trying to chase perfection, and so when you're doing that, we're starting to talk about hand placement and first steps and everything else. So there were the good things that came out of it, and I guess the old adage, the film is never as bad as you think or never as good as you think during the game, and that was the case with this one. I love where we're at. I love that we're continuing to take steps, and I feel like we're coming on strong at the right time.
Was that the best game the Lions played when you look at the whole picture so far this year?
It's as good as they played if you look at the whole picture. If you talk about the mass that was across from us, I don't know that I played a bigger four down front in the National Football League or at any time in college.
Coach Shaw was saying that this is that the line has been improving steadily since the USC game. I assume you agree.
I do. I'm really proud of how they're working, and some of the process that they've taken on, and then some of the production they've had in games, I think has been very good.
Tell me about Jesse first.
Jesse is not getting enough credit. Jesse Burkett is playing outstanding football. He is absolutely our leader in terms of making calls at the line of scrimmage, putting in the extra time. He and David Bright have put in so much time for this offensive line going back to last summer, but week in and week out, what they do is so impressive. They prepare like pros.
You got any good stories about Jesse's egg-headedness?
No.
He's an extremely bright guy, right?
Oh gosh, he's so bright, so incredibly intelligent, and I just think the information that he's able to process right now for us is outstanding.
So, Coach, I know that you can't go into too many of the details, but Keller in particular handled the blitz really well. The line handled the blitz really well. Can you talk about one of the bigger throws or plays he had and kind of walk us through what the line had to do and what he had to do to make it happen?
I think you go back to any of those third down and longs that we had, the 9 and 10 yard conversions that we had, whether you're talking about the ones to Trent Irwin or the big one to Dalton Schultz. But a couple of those to Trent early in the game, you got cover zero pressure, they're bringing 7. The line's got to get to the right protection, and then you got to have the proper fit out of Dalton in the backfield and then the running back. Then you got to have a quarterback willing to stand in there on time, throw the ball, and deliver a great one to Trent like he did. And then I thought what Trent Irwin did once he caught it was phenomenal, breaking a few tackles and getting 10, 15 more yards.
And then just one last thing. I asked Keller if he felt like he played more than he thought on Saturday, and I think he kind of went along with that. Is that kind of your assessment of where he's at right now?
Can you rephrase that?
Yeah, I think he kind of talked about the fact that maybe he was doing a little too much thinking out on the field when it was, you want to be reacting and just going right to it. Did you see him make steps on Saturday in that regard?
Yeah, I absolutely did. And I think watching KJ out there, maybe the couple weeks of KJ just going out there and being a little bit of a gunslinger and Wild West throwing the ball, and maybe that rubbed off a little on Keller because Keller's so cerebral and he studies this game so much that maybe it was a little to his detriment there. And what I did see was a guy that stepped out there, knew the protection to get us in, took the right drop and got the ball out of his hand, and I thought that was great.
All right.